Welcome to YYC Business Speed Dating with Magic Mike. Book your free business video spotlight at yycbusinessspeeddating.com. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 4 with my guest, Carl Mima of Brain Balancing ARDR Therapy from ardr1.com.
Hi, my name is Mike Duffy, author of Brand Sharks, Unstoppable Strategies for Business Leaders, also producer of MupoEntertainment.com's technology show, Don't Get Hacked, Call Me for Help. And also, I'm the founder of Calgary cybersecurity startup, don'tgethacked.ca. Welcome to YYC Business Speed Date with Magic Mike. My guest today on Business Speed Date is fellow Calgarian Carl Mima. Carl, look at the camera and explain exactly what you do.
Well, Mike, the short answer is we balance brains. The long answer, or the slightly longer answer, is every psychologist, psychiatrist, neuroscientist, neuroplasticity expert, and therapist agree that a better balanced brain is a healthier brain. The problem has been, how do you do that? The neuroplasticity individuals use a lot of physical movements to do that. The biofeedback people use biofeedback techniques to accomplish that. And we use a much simpler technique. We have you listen on headphones to compositions that we've created that have been specifically designed to balance the brain. And the nice part is you get to listen to some pretty good music. A lot of people fall asleep, quite frankly, while they're listening because it's so relaxing. We've taken this technology from our therapeutic program that's designed specifically for therapists, and we're bringing it to the world through a streaming service like Spotify or Apple Music. That's what we do.
So Carl, this brain balancing, who exactly is the ideal client for it or end user?
There are three main clients that benefit greatly from brain balance. The first are people who have experienced trauma. Now, trauma can be anything from seeing someone die in front of you to having your parents abuse you to, quite frankly, having your mother take away a favorite doll at the wrong time and not explain it to you properly. And if you keep that trauma, invariably your brain starts to hide that information. And by balancing the brain, we now expose that, and you can now resolve your trauma. And that every therapist does exactly that process. But ours is far more effective than the traditional technique that therapists use. The second group that are very effective are people who are stuck. They've had a divorce, they've been fired from their job, and they just don't know how to get themselves going. That incident of going through some type of change in your life causes stress. Stress causes the brain to change how it normally functions. And this way, we bring the brain back. And the third category, which was totally unexpected to us, were high-performance individuals trying to get better performance. Why was Einstein such a great physicist? Because he had wonderful analytic skills, but he's also highly creative in how he looked at physics. And that's why he was so good. Same thing applies. We live in Calgary. How many engineers do we have here who are totally left brain? Guess what? When we introduce right brain functionality and improve that, their creativity goes up and their focus goes up. So each one of the groups gain focus by having their brain balanced. But there are so many other things that people can benefit from. Generally, we get improved communication, we get less anxiety. And how many people today are anxious in the world? People's stress level comes down. And then finally, individuals fundamentally start to feel better because they feel more in control of their environment. They're not as affected by external circumstances.
Great answer. Wow. Okay. So I'm guessing because you have a streaming service, then you're not restricted to a certain service area of Calgary, right? You can have...
We've got clients around the world right now.
Clients around the world. That's great. So Carl, how long have you been in this field for?
So my partner started developing meditation, yoga, and mindfulness compositions over 40 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We were in the process of building a service like Calm or Headspace, and then realized that's just not going to work. We're never going to get enough traction on that side. So we had some therapists come in who practice a technique called EMDR, eye movement dissociation and reprocessing. And when we analyzed what they did, they do it by moving their hand like this. Now, to me, you can get pretty distracted. And the theory is, as the hand moves, it's using one side of the brain and the other. When we started testing people who had been through EMDR, they didn't have any long-term brain balance. By having our technique go through, and then there's tons and tons of experimentation. So we went through, built some stuff, didn't work. Built some stuff, so okay, that's starting to work. And we built the therapeutic product. And that therapeutic product is now being used by therapists here in Calgary, Vancouver Island, Winnipeg, Toronto. We've got a dozen people using it. We've had from their side over 3,000 sessions that have been conducted, and we try and get data from that. We took all that information, revamped the product slightly, and then created a consumer level brain balance protocol, based on compositions. And, we started that process 5 years ago.
Okay.
So it's been quite a while.
All right. So in your profession, how much of your workflow is electronic on the computer versus paperwork? Like, I'm assuming it's all
100%
all
electronic.
all done on the computer.
And my background is a techie. I wrote my first program in 1974.
Okay.
So I've been doing this a long time.
It's all electronic. So then, since you're a techie, do you run into technology issues from time to time yourself?
My partner does all the time.
Okay.
And that's why we called you, because you solved it for me.
Exactly. Do you consider yourself a do-it-yourself when it comes to your own technology?
At this moment in time, given the fact that it's just two people doing all of this, as we hire people, and you have to remember, I've worked for IBM, Hewlett-Packard, Lotus Development, Microsoft. I understand technology reasonably well. Back in 1984, I was working on the Royal Bank account, and we were literally building real-time rollback and roll forward database routines.
Yes.
Like that's now just built into databases. No, these were routines that had to be. So I understand the theory quite well. And at the end of the day, your systems have to be up. They have to be reliable. Your data has to be there. It has to be backed up. Over time, as we get more and more employees, then of course I need to build structure. Am I going to do that? No, I'm going to hire someone to do that.
Of course. If any of the viewers are interested in your streaming service or finding more out about your product, do you want them to go to your website or?
Yes. ARDR1.com.
That's pretty easy. Is
the website where the streaming service, we have informational audio. Now, this is an interesting one.
Okay.
In our streaming service, they could either do video with low quality audio or high quality audio alone. We need very high quality. Apple streams between 128 and 320 bits, depending on, and we stream between 1,400 and 2,400 bits, depending on our protocol.
So very high quality.
Because we use subsonic and hypersonic frequencies that you can't hear, but your body can feel.
Are there any other streaming services that high quality?
Building a streaming service, we looked at it. We got to $3 million very quickly on that. So the technology plan over time is to utilize this service, take the front end, build a front end web service, build a better user interface, but then just use an API out to do the streaming.
Okay. Any other information you'd like to leave us with today?
It was a shock to me how people responded. The number of letters and emails, and I've actually got a few physical letters from people saying how much gratitude they have for having something that they didn't really understand get clarified. And because we work from the therapeutic all the way to the consumer, it's fascinating how when people get the benefit of brain balance, they almost can't believe that their lives have changed. And it's quite remarkable. So that's been a real bonus for us that we're actually helping people.
No, that's great. That's great.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Been a pleasure.
Carol. Been a pleasure.
Thanks for tuning in to Season 1, Episode 4 of YYC, Business Speed Dating with Magic Mike. Today's guest was Carl Mima with Brain Balancing. You can reach out to Carl 403-708-1849 or go check out the website ardr1.com. You're invited to the first annual MupoEntertainment.com award ceremony, being held July 21st, 2023 in Edison, New Jersey. Tickets are on sale now on MupoEntertainment.com.